Tonight on 8.5-bit, we build, we battle, and we heal. Welcome, friends of all designs, to episode 260 of 8.5-bit. I'm your host, Paul, and joining me tonight are my good friends, Sam.
Hello.
And James.
Hello.
Gentlemen, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well.
Quite all right.
Get up on that mic, James.
Hey, get up all on that mic.
Yeah,
I had
that's
a
good.
pre-show nap.
Did you?
Yes.
See,
I
that
got
was
home.
my mistake last time.
I see. That was your mistake. And I did consider setting an alarm, but dinner was on the way. So I knew there were other people in the house that were going to...
The food got you up.
Yeah. And it wasn't really asleep. It was more of something I used to do when I was younger, was I'd kind of lie down and...
This is going to be a really just a roundabout way to get to having a sleep.
No, but it's not. It's more of like...
But I did it. I just closed my eyes and lost consciousness for a moment.
No. It's more like I just it's almost like a meditation. It's like I kind of just let my thoughts go wherever.
James?
Yeah.
There's a word for that? I believe it's sleeping.
I kind of like forget some of it and I wake up feeling
I know what you
refreshed.
mean,
Yeah.
You just lose like 2 hours and then
Just,
you
see where the brain goes, and that's actually takes a bit of discipline to not stop myself from doing it, because I'll think something silly and I'll be like, the filter will come in to try and stop it, but go, no, let's just see where this random thought goes.
just let them flow.
And I did that for like 20 minutes.
Call that sleep.
That's what I did. I woke up refreshed.
I just huffed some ether.
Nah, that'll do it.
Takes longer than you think. Anyway, what about you, Sam? How are you going?
All right.
That's good.
Doing not a lot.
That's
I
fantastic.
didn't nap.
Not falling for that again. Not that old trick.
That old chestnut. I am always impressed by my friend Teeny every time he says, let's meet up for breakfast. 3 p.m? I'm like, okay. And then you get a call about 5 saying, sorry, I was still asleep. You're like, fucking hell. You're a 35-year-old man. That man is a film director. He's directed multiple feature films at this point. He's had a very wild career. He's the most impressive and the most fall-apart life person I know.
Are they all set at night?
No. One of them was. Anyway. Hi.
I have to keep making sure I look at the right place.
You got to
keep looking at the
We've shifted the camera slightly down because
yeah.
we used to have it that low, and then I moved it, and I've moved it again because I thought it looked better in a thumbnail low. It's a bit more dynamic. We can reach towards the camera. It's like 3D. It's coming right for you.
Get those
Put it
glasses
side
out.
by side, it practically
I spent most of the last week strapped to a toilet.
like physically strapped.
Not quite, but I should have been. I went on holidays. I spent
Yeah.
most of that time in bed.
And pooping.
A lot of poop.
A lot of pooping.
Yeah, once that dried up, that was real good.
Yeah.
That was real good. Yeah. It was confusing symptom because it actually started from playing squash.
Ah, yes.
That'll get you.
Yeah.
I had
There's a known correlation between squash and pooping.
Yes, I had a rousing 9 matches of squash.
Yes. And then poop.
Then I came home. No.
Oh, okay.
Then no eaty. Then no eaty for 3-4 days. Then
Wait, you didn't eat for 3 or 4 days?
I ate, but I
Squash
ate like
is
you know.
all you need.
I was like, oh, my stomach just feels tight. I guess it was from all that squash.
So
And they're like, I guess I'll just eat a cracker for today.
Yeah.
And then came the vomits, and then came the
So
booze.
what you're saying is you exercised intensely,
Yeah.
then didn't eat, and then probably immunosuppressed
Well,
yourself.
I came home and threw up. But I was like, oh well, I had a look. I did
that with
I did a
anything.
2-hour walk run in the morning.
Yes.
Then I spent all day working in the yard and in the garage and physical work. Then I played 2 hours of squash.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've just exhausted my body. A little throw up doesn't seem out of the question.
A little.
I feel like there's a future in you for like personal trainer.
just once every month or so,
Yeah.
just spend a day ruining your body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like you get sick, you poop a lot.
It could be.
It probably is pretty good for weight loss.
I'm hopefully
It's a new fad.
hopefully I lost a little bit. Yeah.
You probably
Get it
did.
out there.
You didn't eat and you threw up and pooped a lot.
Oh yeah, but then once it
Come
came
from
back,
somewhere, Paul.
it's just dreams. Anyway, enough of the toilet discussion. The games hinted at in today's intro are Mario Maker 2, Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night, and Dr. Mario World. And we'll also talk about some other fun games. So any business before we get into games?
No.
Every time. Oh no, we recorded since we saw Chucky, didn't we?
Yeah, Chucky was amazing.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can gush about Chucky
Get
again.
get up on that mic. You keep getting off
Get it?
mic a
Alright.
little bit. Or maybe I'll just turn you
Yeah,
up.
no, that's
How
cool.
about
I'll
that?
hug it more. I'll do the old thing where I lock my fingers around it to make sure it
Get
stays
back
near
into the
my
mic
face.
discipline, you piece of
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, and
My good friend. And then I saw Parasite.
Yeah.
Which was very, very good.
That's
I
good.
highly recommend that. Yeah. Then I started watching all of Boon Joon-ho's.
Oh, you went
Joon-ho's
back
films a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was it compared to his other stuff?
I mean, I was going to say top tier, but then I would put most of his films in the top tier. It's a good film.
It's not how tiers work.
Yeah, it's a very good. See, it's kind of like
flat plane.
it's like the Coen Brothers. How there's like Coen Brothers films, and then
Lady
there's
Killers.
Lady Killers down there, and that's the only real difference in tiers.
Do you still have the empty space in your collection? Where
Yes,
you'll
yes.
never, you will never own Lady
There
Killers.
will always be a hole in the collection from Coen Brothers, which will never be filled with Lady Killers. Although I've still never got around to watching Inside Llewyn Davis. I should.
Don't know what that one is.
It's like a music singer. Yeah, that's what they call them. You know, the music singers. Anyway.
Have we all watched Stranger
Things?
Things?
No.
Well, thanks for the segue, James.
Oh, you're welcome, Paul.
So
You're welcome.
once I managed to get Netflix working where we were having holidays out in the country, lovely place. We just binge watched Stranger Things as you do when you're out in the wilderness. A fun series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I don't think we need to say much. I'd say it's more on par with season 1 than season 2.
Which is good.
Yes, I'd say it's my favorite season so far.
Ah, that's good. So afterwards, I'm like, oh, we've got to keep this party rolling.
Mm.
I can't crack my knuckles into the microphone. Good. Oh, you motherfuckers! Jesus. That's bad.
We got your back. It's fine.
I'm gonna buy that Stranger Things game that looks terrible.
Scratch that itch.
Oh yeah, and let me tell you, this game is fantastic in a certain sense. I am, for listeners, I'm using inverted commas. I am enjoying my time playing it. So they decided to make a Stranger Things game. They were making a Stranger Things game. It was a Telltale game. And it was going to come out for season 3.
Yes.
Oh.
And then Telltale happened.
Yes.
So they quickly said, oh shit, we've got 3 months to make a game. And they made this thing. Not quite 3 months. It was mid last year, I think they started on this one. So what they made was a SNES era isometric
So mad me.
tie-in license game. Don't play with the mic, James.
No,
You'll
it's-
never fix it.
It's broken.
It's broken, isn't it?
Yeah,
Broken
I'm trying to
forever.
fix it.
Trying to
fix
use
it.
your thing again.
Yeah.
I think your dreams of streaming this thing on Discord is just dead. man.
I really try.
This is the last time talking about it on the show. It's dead.
Yeah.
It's dead forever.
I'm trying.
Apple is a piece of shit, and you can't use it to stream.
Apparently.
Like, we've proven it. We've proven it over the last 6 months. It is unreliable crap. Yes. Which is... No, it is Apple's fault. Yeah. Anyway, back to it. So, it's isometric. You play 2 characters at once. It's co-op. You can co-op this game, and that might be the most fun way of playing it. And you play through literally episode per episode.
Mm-hmm.
You could watch an episode of the series, then play an episode of the game, and then you wouldn't get no spoilers in the game. And probably better because the storytelling in the game ain't so strong. So you're like, what was supposed to happen in that scene? I remember. I just watched it on the television.
So really, the show is the guide for the game.
Yeah, kinda.
That's a weird choice. Like, it's kind of like, who's it for? That like, I don't.
It's the companion to the show.
I go, yeah, like it's like because when I saw it, I was like, well, I don't want to play this before watching the show because
You could play it whilst watching
guess,
the show.
like,
I
while
would say
watching
each
it.
episode takes about an episode of length. You could play it simultaneously and get the double experience.
Try and match it up to what's happening.
Yeah, isometric. The combat is a poor man's zombies ate my neighbors. But here's the thing. This is the kind of game that if it came out in the SNES era, people would go like, I remember that game. It's a pretty good movie license game.
Yeah.
And then you go back and play it and go, that game was shit. But then someone would remake it good. So what I really want now is I want someone to remake this game for next season. it's like everything's functional in it. It works, but it's just like lots of weird things. Like you can switch between any character at any time just with the shoulder buttons, which is good. They've got slightly different abilities, but honestly, you just keep finding whoever's currently the most powerful character, and you just use them.
Is it just L all the time?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, actually, I would tell you who's the most powerful currently, but yeah, L doesn't even compare. Even just Mike with a baseball bat is a little bit stronger than her attacks. Her attacks just have a bit more range than he has. Yeah, so there's not a lot of reason to switch other than the fact that it's a bit Metroidvania and as you unlock more people to play, because you only start with a few people and then you get more people as you go along.
Can you then go back and do the earlier levels with the new people?
Well, there's not levels. It's an open world.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's open world in that there's a world map and you go to each area and you can explore the areas. The map's quite good actually. You explore the area and then they'll be like, hey, this door has chains on it. You can't get through it until you get the person who has bolt cutters and stuff like that. But then it automatically switched for those people. Just giving up on the mic now, James?
Yeah, just let it go to the just let it use the mic that's on it. Let's just go with that.
Yeah, so it'll just automatically switch. So if you go up to a hacking station, it immediately switches to Dustin because he's the one that's going to do the hacking in the game and stuff like that. It's pretty damn easy. There's a harder difficulty, but I don't see that being any fun because the combat is rough.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's so perfect licensed 90s game. It's like, it's the exact plot of the show, but with everything just like toned back to what they can do in a game, and then just a bunch of rats to kill and just like meaningless monsters on the side, and there's Russians everywhere. You kill so many Russians. These kids murder so many fucking people. It's great. Yeah, it is. And everyone's like in the appropriate costumes for it, so it's like it's fun fan service as you go. And it's one of those, like, I am onto the 4th episode of the game, so I guess I'm halfway through. And it's like, I'm not. There's a crafting system. You got to build like trinkets here, but they actually need an experience system, I think, because it gives you more reason to go kill all those Russians.
I'm gonna grind me some Russians.
It's like, I would not call it a good game, but I highly recommend it as a companion piece for the tone of the show.
Okay, yeah.
It's like, it's perfect, but it's bad.
It sounds like they've made a bad game that's really nailed the Stranger Things vibe.
And they've nailed
sounds like.
They've got the vibe. They've also just got that 90s licensed tie-in game vibe, and it's like it's nowhere near the worst of those. Like those things were just often just like, here's just a platform and we've replaced the characters. That's it. This still has some concepts to what the thing is, except it's still pretty janky. Yeah, I kind of really like it a lot, but I would not recommend it to. Yeah, and I don't even want people that just want to like it ironically, because it's sort of still. You just got to genuinely find a bit of love in your heart for that idea. You know, it's like it's 6 out of 10. Highly recommend it. No, maybe not 6, 5.
It's like an 8.5 out of 10 in the 90s. If you were to give it a 90s rating,
a 90s rating, it would be like, 6 hot dogs on like
6 hot dogs out of 7
because all it is like when you get the newspaper reviews and like everything's got 3.5 stars. It's like, that's it. It's just a regular 3.5 star review that's just like the press release and then a score at the bottom. That's all. It's like, play as all your favorite characters in this exciting action adventure game. 3.5 stars. That's the review. And you can play as all your favorite, except, look, as I said halfway through, so major fucking spoilers here. Can't play as Steve yet.
What?
Yep.
No.
Fucking Scoops Ahoy is being kept sidelined.
You must be able to play him eventually.
Oh, no, I can see his silhouette. He's coming.
I was under the impression he's the main character of the show for this season.
He's fucking great.
He's the best.
No, this
from my knowledge.
This season does a lot of splitting the groups up, which, I mean, they always do. And they sort of, everyone goes on their own adventures and then they reconverge. Yeah. But yeah, he's there. Steve's always great. And he gets the best arc overall of the show.
Yeah, for sure.
Because anyone that gets a start as a jerk is like, they've got like the best way to go. Because someone that's just like is a good person that's like meek and, someone that has to find themselves in their confidence, that's boring. We've seen that. Someone that's already got their confidence and they're a dick about it, yes. That's what we want the story of. We want a movie about Gaston.
Yes, definitely.
Exactly. Watch Mulan today.
Oh, as in the original.
The
movie?
original
Yeah.
Disney. Yeah.
Did you watch it right after watching the teaser trailer for the live action remake?
I mean, I did watch it the other day, so yes, I did.
I watched it recently.
I only watched it once previously in my life.
Yeah, it was the
fine.
first time I'd seen it.
It's okay.
It's weird music choices.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird period of Disney, I think. But yeah, I mean, it's not like it was bad music. I'm just like, this is a strange arrangement.
It's always felt to me like there's two tones running through that movie.
Yeah, it's a bit odd, and I'll be interested. I am interested in the remake because I believe it's one of the ones that is just them retelling the story
I
with
think
a
so.
bit of their sensibilities.
It's
Yeah.
not remaking the animation.
The animation.
Because,
movie.
like,
It's
I think-
retelling the actual
I think-
Mulan story.
'cause
As far as I'm aware.
Mulan is like it's still like a little bit ahead of its time when it was made, but it kind of pushes out a bit at the end with kind of Mulan kind of not being the general. Yeah, like the end of the animated flick, it's like she's got the option.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure in the original story, it's like no, she goes on and becomes a general. And
Yeah, it really shows our ignorance in not knowing what the actual story is doing. And I was like, for years, I was just like, oh, it was just like, they just shifted Joan of Arc, didn't they? Like, no, Paul, it's like
No.
a really, like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm just really fucking ignorant. Aren't I? I don't know what I'm talking about. Doo-doo-doo. Anyway, so Stranger Things, season 3, 4 out of 10, highly recommended.
And then it's worth watching on Netflix.
Or
Play
on
it.
DVD later. See, you thought I was going to say something else.
They need to do like a
I would.
VHS box set of Stranger Things.
Yeah. Speaking of streaming stuff, that ties into a little bit of news I only just read just beforehand, which was, I thought, just a lovely little thing. A feature that Xbox Game Pass is adding, which is just a play later button.
Oh, that's good.
As we're starting to get all these giant libraries, it's like just a little marker, like not ready now, but remind me later.
When I
yeah.
can
A
finally
little wish, find the fucking thing.
when I can finally access games on Xbox Game Pass, I
You'll-
can have a play later list that looks like my eShop watch list.
Exactly. I've got a remember to play list on Steam. That's just one of my categories
yeah.
I can set. It's like, don't forget this game exists.
I am looking forward to the Steam UI updates.
Oh,
they're doing.
that discoverability for your
The
own shit.
library updates.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope it's all in it, because I used to use a few third-party things and they kept getting nerfed. And I'm like, I can't be bothered keeping up with this. So hopefully they can match some of that functionality. Because these days it's just a big list of 2,500
is.
games. I'm like, do. Go to buy a game. You already have this in your library. I'm like, oops. do. Man, I did so much digging through the sale of just like sort by price, lowest, get past the free ones, and then
Yeah.
like, what is
Like,
available for 10
what is
cents?
here?
Let's go. I found a few gold ones, but I'm going to
What
save
will
them for a
cost
special
me the
event.
trading cards it'll give me?
Oh, you bloody trading card monster. That reminds me, I should run some trading card scams. Okay, shall we talk about Mario Maker 2?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna sit back for this one.
Have you not played
I
Mario
am
Maker
waiting
2?
for Payday, which is end of this week.
Oh, okay. Well, here's
I've seen quite a lot of it.
here's the scoop for you. Have you played Mario before?
Yes, is it that?
Well, it's that with you can build your own levels.
I actually
Wait, can you?
You can.
I thought it was just
I-
playing ridiculously hard levels.
Actually, no, I
No.
haven't done much playing ridiculous hard levels at all. I'm going to sit back a bit because my back is killing
yeah.
me.
I wouldn't actually say this is like other Mario games.
Well, it's
Too
quite
much.
it's quite like Mario Maker.
Well, it's quite because I'd say this is so far has been my favorite Mario.
Yes.
It's got
And-
so many things that Mario's never had. That's the truth.
Well,
right?
and it's not even that. It's actually the single player.
The story mode I
story
did
mode,
Yeah,
go
this,
to
this is
completion, yeah.
this is what surprised me because I whenever I've tried to play a mainline Mario like 2D Mario game before, I always hate it. Like I just do not like Mario platformers. I don't like their structure. I find them hard. I am terrible
What do
at
you
Mario
like about the
games.
structure? I know you hate the physics and the movement, and it's always like, oh, why don't they update this to be modern? And everyone else is like giggling you that like, man, this kid never learned how to ride a bike,
So-
and he's falling over every time.
So what do I not like about the structure of Mario?
Yeah, I mean,
The platformers. Or this, they tend to have me replaying a lot because I die a lot.
Yeah.
I lose all my lives, and I have to do the
But
whole
that's
level
just-
again.
There's a lot of
that's just like that's just like a level-based game,
Yeah,
isn't it?
and I don't like it. That's all I'm
You
saying.
don't like level-based
I'm not-
games?
No, that particular the way that game works, where there's lots of one-hit death or two-hit death,
Uh-huh.
and if once I've died enough, I have to start the whole thing again. I don't like that.
I mean, that is most of the games before 2000 that were ever made.
No, but it's not. You're objectively wrong. But
What? What? We need to get a fucking list together now.
That's just thing I just don't really like. But with this one, the missions are so short and they're generally so forgiving that I just really enjoy it. Like the mission, like each level you finish in 30 seconds.
I mean, there's some
minute.
longer ones.
But yeah, like, there are some, like there's like the cool one with the keys. I like that one.
So the single player is basically it starts. You've just completed the castle, and then fucking Undo Dog jumps on the rocket button and just destroys the whole castle that you've just rebuilt. It's like, you bastard, Undo Dog. And so then you have to rebuild the castle, which basically involves you going on to levels, which gets you coins, and you spend those coins to build parts of the castle. And then there's a bunch of areas you can explore on this little overworld map where there's other characters you can talk to and get side missions and stuff like that. The thing that's great about all these missions is that pretty much every single one is designed to show off an idea. Very few of them are like, win a Mario level. They are, win this Mario level as a car. And they start doing, one of the big changes in Mario Maker 2 is, of course, having win conditions. So it's not just reaching the end, it's reaching the end while holding a shell, while collecting all the coins, while defeating these enemies, things like that. You can set those on your own levels, but it also means that the levels you're playing in the game often are that structure. And what they often do is, in those levels, they'll start you right next to the flag. And they'll say, oh, to do that, no. And then there's pipes going off to do the rest of the level. So it's really teaching you structuring the levels in this way. And I think they did a great job of showing you ideas, but then also just giving you a huge variety of things to play. Even James, the complete idiot at playing video games. I mean, imagine someone so inept.
The Mario hater himself.
Even like Cheryl commented, like, within about 4 to 8 seconds of every level I play, I will be dead.
What?
The Mario hater himself, who I will point out is wearing a Mario shirt, in which he's losing Mario.
Yeah.
It is playing game over. Yeah.
I die a lot, but I think that it's because each of these levels is so contained and so like focused in what it is. I just don't get frustrated at it. Like there are some, because I really like the star, because it's got like star rating system.
Yeah.
And I think it's pretty good. Like, I'll generally find if it's 1 or 2 stars, even I can get through that thing.
Yeah.
You get 3 to 4, it does start to get trickier. But I know that 3 to 4 star level will be not too long, and it'll be exploring a little idea, and I'll learn how to do it, and I'll master it, and I'll get through it, and I'm satisfied. But I don't get frustrated at it, which I think is the what's separating this one out from other Mario games I've played.
Yeah. It's a very fun campaign. I've played through to like credits, but there is, to finish all the levels takes you past credits. So I think I've done like 60 main mission ones and then like another 20 or 30 side mission things. Like, I've done all the side missions. I've just got to finish off the rest of the stuff. But I've been making levels mainly and sort of screwing around with a few ideas. And
so far, there's been one side mission that I've skipped.
Oh, yeah.
It's and I was a bit disappointed that the game will say, "Hey, you're sucking at it."
Yeah, what I hate is that often, like, if you die twice,
It's twice.
Yeah, it's
twice,
not long.
it usually goes like, "Hey, you want help?" I'm like, I was trying to do a thing. I know what I'm trying to do is hard. Or it's like I'm deliberately killing myself for a reason. It's like, stop offering me game. I know what I'm doing. If I need you, I will ask.
What?
It's Luigi, man. He just butts in.
What I was hoping would be that they show a ghost or something if you skip it, but it doesn't. It just sort of goes phase to black, and then a bar fills up, and then it's done.
Oh, I thought it was.
Yeah.
It doesn't
I thought
show
it would be
the
like
solution, as it
No,
were,
no.
Yeah, because it wasn't. Is it the super mushroom or whatever? What is it? Like, they started in like New Super
There's
Mario
one where
Brothers.
it plays it for you.
Yeah, like plays it for you, and
Yeah.
you can take control again. Something like that would be better. I think.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was going to be. But no.
Maybe because of the very nature of it. I mean, I guess they have ghosts for every level. So
Yeah,
that
you
would
just
be-
record someone beating the level.
Yeah.
Someone who isn't James beat the level.
Yeah. So I
to
was
go.
just going to get up on that mic, Sam. Or I can take you up.
Oh,
Now you're too excited.
Just can't win, Paul.
Yeah, I was looking at like tips for makers. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, so once you've made the level, make sure you play through it without holding the run button down, because a lot of people don't. And I'm like, wait, you can take your finger off the button? And it is one of the things I was starting to get a cramped thumb playing that game on the Switch, because I'm just like, why isn't there just a toggle for run? Like, it just, but it's like, I'd never play Mario without the run button. In some levels, it actually screws you in. The distances are made for a regular jump. I'm like, but I'm running. I've got to run all the time.
I think
I've got to go fast.
The thing I've noticed watching a lot of play is that there's a lot of things you can do in Mario that I was not aware of. Like, just in terms of movement. There are a lot of different jump types and bounces, and
they make good use of it as well.
So, to me, Mario's run and jump.
Yeah.
It's always just been run and jump.
There's weird jumps and strange platforms you can manipulate and stack things, and then the interactions between things. Like, just playing with some of those interactions and the way people then turn them into like logic machines, because there's a lot of puzzle-based levels as well as platforming-based levels. I think that is a good break for people as well. Like, there's one that's even it's a really early one, a really early puzzle level where it's you need like 4 keys to finish the level, but you need like 7 keys to get the true ending. And it's like it still just gets to the end, but the other way gives you like a lot more crap. But it's just a weird idea to be able to build that into Mario. The only thing I sometimes want, well, actually, you do have it. I was going to say you'd be able to write into levels, and you can't put writing in a level itself, but the descriptions you can write pretty much anything you want in. I did enjoy it. The only level I published was called Hello James, with the description, James is nice. And I still had like 270 people play it. I'm like, oh, this was just for one person. Sorry.
So I played some, and I commented. I actually made a comment that was deleted for bullying.
Oh. It wasn't to me, was it?
No.
Wow, James, wow.
There was one that I was playing, and the idea was sound. It was, let's make a level that's about not collecting mushrooms.
Okay.
Because the moment you collect the mushroom, you get too big. But I did sort of, even more big, just through sliding, I actually got through a lot of it.
Yeah.
And I tried to beat this level for, I don't know, an hour. Like, I spent a lot of time playing this level, and I couldn't beat it. So I was like, all right, I'm going to give this thing a comment. And all I did was, because I didn't want to put that much effort in, I in the middle of a white image, I just wrote the word bad.
That's not constructive, James.
And then
Beautiful.
The next day, I got an email from Nintendo saying that there's been a violation of the community standard.
Oof.
And
rightly so, you son of a
You've
bitch.
been flagged.
I have been flagged. My comment has been deleted. And if this continues, it may affect my access to the network.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, you'll have to move to Mordhau then.
So I'm that guy. There's probably some kid that made it, and they were sad, and I probably just turned them off game development. I think I've done them a favor. They're now down a much better career path.
Yeah, either they're going to stop and no longer make bad levels, or they're going to learn good level design. Is that the trick?
I hope so.
I hope that level has like a 99.9% clear rate.
James is the only one that
just the one
failed.
failure. It's like everyone else is like too easy for babies.
There was another one that I played, which had a pretty low clear rate. I did actually get through this one, but the person put a checkpoint in the middle of like 2 saw blades with enemies right next to you. And most of the time I died in that level was whenever I respawned. If you did not move immediately, you just die. That was entitled My First Level. And it was like someone's first level. Like, it's like there was no cohesive design to this thing at all. It was like, here are some things that I've put together.
Unlike my first level, which was very very well designed. What I did enjoy, it didn't have 100% clear rate. They're like, how?
There's a lot of little Japanese children that are trying to play Mario.
I think that I am almost.
You almost didn't. You told me,
because I at the end of the big section where there was like all the coins to collect, I thought I could jump over this like blocker.
I made a blocker that you couldn't jump over,
and I tried. I got close, but no.
Yeah. I mean, all it was a collect 100 coins level.
Yeah.
And there was a tube at the beginning that took you right to the end, but it played the Galaxy theme when you went through the tube.
Perfect.
Because that's fun. So if you go through the tube, it just goes, go collect 100 coins. So you go back, jump over this little wall, then there's all these coins that spell out "Hello, James," but every single one has a sound effect attached to it.
Perfect.
So it's just a spam level, and then you get to the
mastery.
end, and you can get a cat suit, so you can climb back out the beginning. But James didn't go back to the beginning at first, and he was just trying to get over the unclimbable wall.
I almost ran out of time.
Yes. But you got all those cool sound effects.
I did get the cool sound effects.
I did make a level where you just get punched on every single square. Once I found that punch button, I was like, yeah, it's good. I can't make it do anything to the player. It's just I think it's a cat paw actually comes in. It just like hit, punch. This is Paul's kind of fun. Because all I wanted to make was just a level where everything you did made the world shake and like all these things, and just call it like Vamblia.
Just get juice.
Anyway, so Mario Maker 2, it's exactly what it says.
I kind of wish I could play it on Switch too, with a stylus and a gamepad, because I still think that's the way. I still prefer making.
So why don't you?
But I want to. Sorry, Wii U.
Oh, Wii U. Right.
Yeah,
I was about to say, aren't
No,
you
no,
doing
sorry.
that
I'm like,
on the
it
Switch?
is on the Switch, and you can use a
sorry.
stylus.
No. Because I got myself a stylus.
You want to be able to use a stylus, but you'll have it on the TV. That's
Yes,
the trick.
sorry, that's what I meant. Yeah,
The Wii U version does have some benefits over the Switch version. It's true. And you can do co-op building, but it sounds like it's terrible. And the online multiplayer sounds like it's rough. But I wasn't there. Oh, actually, I kind of felt it would be rough because the credits came up and like the multiplayer code just had one name next to it. I'm like,
Pour one out for that.
yeah, fair enough. Nintendo always putting all the hard work into their online services that they now charge money for. Yes.
You're still bitter about that, aren't you?
Yes, because they don't offer anything.
But you've got Rewind now in your...
Yes, they've had the ability to rewind in NES games. Yeah. Still just the NES games. Yeah. Ooh. Now it's like I'm playing Nesticle 20 years ago. And there was Nesticle and Genesis. Were there any other ones by that group?
I don't know what they were.
Yeah, I like any emulator that has like a gross theme to it. That's what I need in my emulators. Thank you very much.
Those NES games are very hit and miss. Like there's some on there because there's a fair few on there now on the virtual console. And there was one that I played. I can't even remember what it was called. I was like a car on a platform. It reminded me a little bit maybe of Joust, like and I couldn't figure out what the game was. There were a lot of police cars moving around, and I could kind of jump and go over them in my car.
See, it really comes down to even the best NES games, with the exception of Mario Bros. 3 and River City Ransom. Like, there aren't many NES games that will hold my attention for longer than 10 minutes.
Oh, I played Double Dragon. Which I hadn't really played much of. Double Dragon 2, I hadn't really played much of. I was surprised how good that game is. That game holds up well.
Yeah, not bad.
Once I figured out that the left and right buttons, or like punched forward and back, depending on the way you're facing. Didn't realize that at first. I really liked it. Like the controls are good. And it's got lots of nice animations in it. I was impressed.
Still straight beat 'em up. They still lose their flavor for me pretty quickly. Because I'm always they were the games I lusted after as a child, and I'm always like, I'll find the game that reinvigorates me, like Mother Russia Bleeds or something like that. I'm like, this game's awesome, and then half an hour later, I'll never play it again. Yeah, no. It's like,
they're all the same.
They're all kind of the same. Like, I think we were trying to play the Turtles at an arcade. I mean, I know it's not and the Simpsons game.
It's pretty close.
They're not really good games. They're just...
They're what they are.
They looked real pretty at the time, and they had 4 people. That was very exciting.
They could take 4 times as many quarters.
I mean, I'd rather play Stranger Things, frankly. It's
well, that's the question. If they put Stranger Things game in an arcade...
I mean, it's not arcadey enough. You'd be spending way too... I mean, I suppose I could just add a lot more enemies.
Drop $1 and you get a minute of gameplay.
I've been using the arcade sticks a lot for playing Mario Maker 2.
Oh, yeah. Interesting. So just platform? Like, not the building aspect.
No, not the building, just the platforming.
I've never really thought about using an arcade stick for
that works well.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Have a good time.
I mean, you can play anything with it you want, really.
The Messenger works really well with those arcade sticks. Dead Cells, not so much. I tried that one. No, that doesn't really. But Messenger. I think it almost it feels like it was designed for that particular. I guess it kind of was like going for that
Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, and like one of the things which took a while for me to get when I was playing Messenger was just having to press multiple things at once. Like that's just not a input I'm used to doing. But when you have an arcade stick, well, that shit's easy. Like that's designed that you press multiple things at once. And so I enjoyed it. I mean, I enjoyed the Messenger to start off with, but it was a more fun experience playing it with the arcade sticks.
Interesting.
We're the Messenger boys. We all like the Messenger.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yay!
I realized it's broken me because I've been replaying Hollow Knight and I keep trying to jump after hitting enemies. I keep trying and it never works.
There was something. Gato Roboto by the end has a similar mechanic. It's like an optional power up. Well, I was like, yeah, now jumping forever, baby. You bosses will never touch me now.
It's the new in thing.
Yeah,
every game needs it.
Kinda, yeah. Even just like when you're doing the glides, just gliding over just to get a hit and then up we go again. Such a good game. Okay, let's. I mean, there's games to talk about, really.
Yeah, we've done one on the list.
We've done two. We've done two. We've done Mario Maker. We've done Stranger Things.
Stranger Things.
Shall we talk about Bloodstained?
Sure.
Sam, you can take the lead on this because you've played it the most.
And
I've been playing the bad version.
You're playing
the arguably bad version, yeah.
Well, yes. Well, see, I've been playing the Switch, and I'll come in with more impressions later. But the interesting thing is, I avoided all other versions, so I actually don't know the difference.
Paul's experience is only with the Switch version.
Yes. So I've been living in blissful ignorance.
My knowledge of the Switch version is not first-hand, so it could be a fair trade-off for portability.
Look, I'll just grab it while you talk, and then you can have a look and see how bad it is. Yeah, it's just over there.
Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is a Castlevania from the Castlevania man himself.
Mr. Castlevania.
Ego, whatever his... I don't know what his last name is.
Screw it.
He's coining it as an Egovania game.
That's
what it's being called now.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Watch out for the...
It is basically...
limo.
So this is my first foray into the kind of Castlevania world, as it were. I touched some really old versions.
So you haven't played any?
I haven't played the other Bloodstained.
You haven't played any... there's only one other Bloodstained.
It
was a Kickstarter bonus.
And I actually haven't played Symphony of the Night. Which I believe this is very heavily pulling from.
Very much so. I actually prefer the post-Symphony ones, so the DS ones, particularly Dawn of Sorrow and Portrait of Ruin, were really my jam.
I remember you going for your mummy to get you. Was it you were trying to get some, Yeti or something you were grinding?
Yeti.
Probably. I grind, but there was like the Iron Golem, especially I think it was, particularly in Dawn of Sorrow, which was like a 100-point kill, but it could only take a maximum 1 point of damage from any hit. So you just had to use like a weapon that hit a lot.
To get 100 hits in.
Yeah, it had 100 hits in and it had like a 1% drop rate for its soul.
Oh, fun. So we just skip past that one, I think.
I spent a couple of hours doing that one thing. I don't think it was something like Iron Golem, can't remember. It's a long time
ago. Love that you don't like looty grindy games until you do.
Oh, yeah, of course. But the thing is, I have a limit. Yeah. I have a limit. And that limit is Dead Rising.
Oh, yeah.
I will spend 2 hours running over zombies in a underground, no more. But if you want 2 hours of me to grind something I'm enjoying, I'll do that. The people that grind forever, I'm like, no. You can put one bullshit thing in there. I'll do the one bullshit thing. If it's all bullshit, no, I'm done. I'm done already. But as long as I'm not a completionist in most things. But anyway, Bloodstained.
Yeah, it is very much a love letter to those games, and as my first real proper entry, I've been enjoying it immensely. Pretty much starts off, throws you in, just some alchemists or something that summons some demons, and you start off in a village type area, and like most Castlevanias, branches out from there. Lots of places you can't get past until you get the right skill.
Stranger Things.
Things like that. The thing that surprised me the most about it was probably just how much stuff there is in this game. Right from the get-go, because this was kickstarted as well.
Yeah.
And it was kickstarted with the very big advertising that there's 13 free DLCs, which is just a bunch of different game modes.
Yeah.
Like,
But-
it's technically could just be one, but it's
I also
13
like
separate
about-
things.
Was it even a year ago they released the trailer of this game looks like poo? And it's like
Yeah,
that's
that
the
was
actual
a
quote,
real,
in it,
like-
and they put like we've fixed it. I will fix the game, and then they
That
got
was a real on the nose trailer.
yeah, split screen, new graphics, poo graphics. Oh, like not like, and they did get better. They were better graphics because it did look awful, and now it looks
It does.
okay.
Wow, it looks fantastic on PC, Paul.
I still would have just preferred sprites. Okay, I have seen like the good screenshots. I still think the backgrounds look like
There's some interesting backgrounds, but I think they're unnecessary. They're probably chewing up a lot of the.
It's kind of like the
power.
Shantae games. I do not really get the
No
need
one-
to have 3D backgrounds all the
when
time.
you're killing all the enemies on the screen, you don't look at the backgrounds.
Yeah.
It does do some interesting things with the levels. Some of the actual individual rooms are 3D.
Yeah.
Some of them make for some good boss fights or just normal enemy fights. There are others that, for example, there's one room that's like a big spiraling, almost
piling
staircase.
tower.
And you can see all the exits on the map, and your icon for where you are in the room on the map doesn't match where the exits are. So it's real fun to know which exit's which.
Sounds like a mistake.
A little bit.
So it's
But-
working on a 2D plane, but it's kind of wrapped around.
So as you move, it's almost like the level rotates
Yeah.
instead of as your character goes
Okay.
around.
It's one of those things that the game it starts
The
with so
camera
many
rotates
options.
around it.
In the first part, you pretty much get like a sample of every type of weapon you have,
There
which
are
means
a lot of them.
Which means you're getting a weapon basically every like 2 screens, and they all work quite differently. But also, you have to go into the menu to equip each weapon, and then get out to try them, and then go.
Yeah,
and I really wish there was some modern, because it's pretty much the same interface as Symphony of the Night. It's like kind of wish there was just like just a switch button.
The menuing is very much
the person that needs to look first is really Sam, just to see what his feeling on the look of the game
It's
is.
not too bad, actually. It is definitely a lower frame rate, but that's
Yes, apparently it
gonna
runs 60
happen.
on everything else. It runs 30 on Switch.
It could be a fair trade-off. My only issue is from what I've read and having been towards the late game of it now, I think.
I'm still super early.
You do hit a point where there are a lot of things on screen, a lot of enemies, a lot of effects, and I worry that the Switch is not going to do so well in those scenarios.
Yeah.
Whether or not that actually makes it worth not getting on the Switch, I don't know.
Yeah,
I still
that's
think
what. Once
for a
I
game
get
like
up to it, I
this,
guess
there
I'll
is a
try.
solid trade-off on portability. Like it is.
Oh, all the Castlevanias
Like
I've loved have been portable.
any Castlevania game should be portable.
Well, I mean,
Like
most weren't.
Metroidvania.
It's really only when they started coming to. Well, I mean, there were a few Game Boy ones. Now they're portable, but historically they actually weren't. But I mean, I love them portable.
It makes more sense. To be
And it
portable.
has the Dawn of Sorrow thing with getting like you're getting well, they're not called souls in this, but you know when you kill creatures, you get their
it's
essence
shards,
and
I
then
think.
shards, and then you can equip the shards because that was the most fun stuff about Dawn of Sorrow.
There's a lot of character customization in weapons and what items you can set up quick builds to swap between sets of gear, and things like that. So you can have like one set on that's better for when you're grinding for drops.
Are there
and another
spells?
set for attacks. There are spells.
I noticed I have some mana.
Yep. So there's spells and your regular weapons, and some of the, even just between the weapon types, there's a lot of variability. Like the katanas, for example, they use fighting stick input movement attacks.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you have to do like the whole Street Fighter, down right. What I don't know the technical term for it, but the stick roll.
Yeah, let's call it sticking.
I love a good stick.
Yeah, that's what you say.
So like it's really, you pick it up, you look at it. There's a lot of things, and there's a lot of different ways you can get through this game.
Yeah, I think they could have onboarded a little bit better.
Yeah, it's all kind of lumped and thrown at you.
Yeah, but it's all right.
Here's the stuff, go.
Especially if you're used to the systems. I mean, it is exactly what you're expecting if you're used to these games.
I like these 3D backgrounds.
The town's all right.
They're well crafted.
Yeah,
There's
I'm looking
some
at the
areas
A
town.
that are
lot of
like,
them get
yeah.
samey.
Yeah, and the actual animation on the like the animations are technically kind of the same movements as they are in 2D, except they're kind of weird when mapped to a 3D body because
Yeah.
they're not the same art style. You can't just do one for one. What was?
I just see the
James'
enemies.
response?
The enemies really kind of stick out. Like they don't look like they're
integrated
into the like background.
That's just kind of the look of the game.
Yeah.
Even on a good version.
Well, here's the thing, James.
Oh, that one's
This was
alright.
kickstarted, so there are a lot of enemies in here that make no sense whatsoever, like giant cats coming out from the background because it's a backer's cat.
Oh,
For example,
okay.
a lot of the backers'
this is-
tiers were to get stuff into.
James,
the
stop
game.
having fun.
No, there's some floaty numbers. Keep going.
A couple of things that really surprised me, just to see in a game like this, was some of the other customization. There is a point at which you get appearance customizations.
Yep.
Which
Okay.
is a hairdresser, which is basically Sweeney Todd.
Hey,
Like it's pretty much.
I don't mind that. I'm having a good time.
He might as well be Sweeney Todd crossed with Edward Scissorhands. He literally has the scissor hands, but is named after.
Could be
Sweeney.
Kruger.
See,
It's named after Sweeney.
Could
I believe.
be.
I was having a good time with that, and now I'm wondering if I see it on another console because that was fine to me.
Yes.
Like that 30 frames wasn't bothering me. Looks like it's running at a slightly lower res, upscaling a bit. That didn't bother me. That looked fine. But now I feel like if I see a nice version of it, it'll ruin it for me.
HD,
yeah, as
60
soon
frames
as
a
I
second.
see that 60 frames, I'd be like, "What is this Switch trash?"
Yeah, I think that was my mistake in going, I want this. And the Switch version did come out a week or two after the rest of the releases.
It came out later.
So they could fix some issues.
I'm playing
believe.
review code. Review code came out after release.
Oh, okay.
Which is like they were saying that literally we're patching on day one. We don't want people playing before that.
Yeah.
But also, you're not putting your confident foot forward with that, are you? Especially when it's not, because we didn't get it on day of release. We got it about 4 or 5 days after
it
release.
seemed like, I think a lot of the conversations around the Switch version was around the fact that they delayed it to work on it, which is fair enough, but also that they managed to get all their review stuff done on the HD 60 frames a second versions, and then drop the Switch version into everyone's lap.
Yeah,
When
there was
reviews and scores and
because it was originally going to
marketing was out
be on Wii U.
yes,
wasn't it Vita as well when it was originally
Wii
pitched?
U and Vita.
Yeah, and a large percentage of Kickstarters kickstarted for portable versions. Although you can't argue if Wii U meant portable, but this is Wii U portable.
Yeah.
Let's face it, it's Wii U portable.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's nice that there are some better running versions, but they probably should have been targeting the portable versions as the main versions, because that's kind of what people were after. But as I say, as someone that hasn't played the other versions, that stuff's not annoying me.
Just looking at it here, it looks passable.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looked fine.
I've got
to
no
me.
issues with that.
Yeah. And that the portability of that I could see would have some value to me above playing it on the TV.
Yeah, and that's always the choice. The amount of times you get articles. The articles are nearly always fine. The reaction of, the Switch version's the worst, is like, shit.
We know it's going to be.
Of course it's going to be the
It's
worst.
basically a mobile version.
It's whether are the compromises, do they affect
Yeah.
the game? It's like, yes, Switcher 3 is going to look a lot worse than that. We know, they've shown pretty honest screenshots and video of it so far. We know it's downgraded. That's fine.
The only
That's
issue
what we're doing
is
there.
if it's unplayable.
Yes, what we want is that they made changes to make it playable, like fonts fix, things like that.
Like-
those are the things that are going to matter particularly.
I'd say my favorite version of Diablo 3 is
the Switch version, which is the weakest version.
It is the weakest
visually,
version.
by far.
But that game as a portable twin stick shooter is super fun. Like it just works really well in that form factor.
Yeah, you've just got to be aware of the compromises you make when you do it. I actually really love when Digital Foundry or something does like a really deep dive into what they've done, because some people seem to be using those like they can go, oh, look at all the downgrades. It's not about the downgrades. It's like, look at what they did to make it run.
Look at the compromises.
Look at what they did to Wolfenstein 2 to make it run. Stuff like that. It's like, yeah, this is wild, some of the things they've had to do here and ideas and what they've prioritized over other things, and did they make the right, like that stuff's all very interesting and it's cool. Like the Switch is a very weird thing to exist, that where the fact that there's even like new first person shooters coming, Doom Eternal is coming out to this
That
Sitting in
blows
a very
my mind.
weird place.
It's weird. Like imagine a time when the new Doom was announced for high end PCs, high-end console, and the Game Boy. It's like that'd be a
relatively
version,
similar.
Yeah, it's a similar. Yeah. It's not like, and the Game Boy 1 is top-down, turn-based.
Yeah.
It's like, It's like, it's pretty wild. Bloodstained, it is Symphony of the Night with some roughness, but you're not so much on the PC.
Yeah.
Other than the weird
I've had
map
no
issues.
Other than the weird map issues, I've had no issues.
Yeah.
Apart from the cats, is it cohesive?
It is. There is a storyline in there, and there's, the world exists.
Look, it's Castlevania without Castlevania.
There's a lot of weird things, and it makes fun of itself a lot. But I think it kind of works.
Yeah.
How are the bosses?
Like, Castlevania is not cohesive.
Entertainingly okay.
Okay.
Fun to fight. One of the first ones you encounter is voiced by the guy who voices Solid Snake, which is
David Hayter's in there.
David Haynes.
Don't tell me
David
that. Don't tell me David Hayter's in that game.
Would it make you want it more if I tell you that one of the 13 DLCs is him as a playable character?
You motherfucker.
He comes in his own box.
I'm super enjoying it, and I may just get it on the Switch as well, just for the portability. One of the only real issues that I have had with it is that normal mode is the only mode unlocked by default, and it is slightly too easy.
Sounds perfect for James.
Is there easy mode?
No, normal's I think the easiest.
Oh, not so good.
Not so good for James. But can Luigi come in and play it for me?
I hope so. He's too busy getting his new mansion sorted out.
For example, on some of the things that kind of stand out as being a little not part of the world, there is a set of shoes you can get that make squeaky sounds when you walk around in them.
Okay.
Like literally every step you make when you have them equipped is like a rubber duck squeak. There's a lot of little things like that in there. It's very strange. There's side quests where you're cooking an old woman some pizza and other things. There's a lot of weird systems going on.
Yeah.
But it's very enjoyable as a whole still.
It's very Castlevania in that way, yeah. They just have, like, everything can go in there. It's fine. Because they ain't vampires. They're these... What are you and the bad guy?
I believe like the characters themselves are like the alchemists or something similar to that.
Didn't the alchemists do something to you? They made you.
Yeah. There's some kind of
weird
your
demonic.
things are kind of... It's a weird demonic
so
thing.
you and he are vampires. So we'll just call you not Alucard, and we'll call him not Dracula. And you have to go to his evil castle. It's very unique. It's very special. But it's good. It's good.
So I guess you haven't played the kind of other Castlevania games, because I want to know, like, is there anything that elevates it past like what they were, but without a point of reference?
I can't really make that call. I have, like, before I picked it up, because I spend a lot of time with Twitch in the background, so I've watched a lot of people playing this, several of which are, I believe, massive Castlevania fans. And everything I can gather is that it is very seriously a love letter to Castlevania as a series. I'm not entirely sure there's any elevation. Yeah. But I could be wrong.
Yeah, I would say it is a good one of these. It's not extending the genre in any way. But it's been a while since we've had one of that exact ilk, except Time Spinner, which is just Symphony of the Night. Like, down to like the fonts. I haven't actually played Time Spinner. I've just seen it yet. I want to play it though. It's on my list, which is good. Okay, so let's move on. I'm going to have a quick moment to talk about Dragon Quest Builders 2 demo. There's a demo out. You can play the demo on Switch. Because I was like, man, I hope they fix up things I didn't really like from Dragon Quest Builders 1. I can't actually tell if they fixed all those things.
Well, because the one thing I didn't like in Dragon Quest Builders 1
was the structure when you move on from things.
That was I was having so much fun with that game up until that point, and I quit.
So yeah, I'm not sure about the structure. I mean, you can check. It's been out in Japan for ages, so you can check that before you buy it. So it starts you off on you've been kidnapped by a ship of monsters. A ship of very funny monsters. The English localization of this is great. It is a very funny game. I was giggling as I was running around doing stupid chores and learning the systems. It just seemed like on the Switch, it looked better. It ran better. It played very smoothly, and it's just one of those things that go like you got friend running around with you all the time. So I'm like, okay, so I've got to check the co-op features of this because that's another thing that the first one really needed. But yeah, I think this might be where it's at.
Can you continue the progress from the demo if you buy it?
Only up until you land on a desert island. once you've done like the first, I think it's after you build the shack there, it says like, okay, all progress from now is locked, so you can keep playing, but you can't save.
Okay.
But I believe that you continue the game from there. But I mean, like, it's only 20 minutes anyway, so it's not going to save you anything playing the demo. But it's it's cool. If you haven't played Dragon Quest Builders, grab it, play around with it, see what the weird world they've created is, because it is such a wacky idea.
I really need to find out that one thing. just does it reset?
Look it up.
Because that was weird and dumb.
Yeah, because it wasn't
pretty strange.
It wasn't that you had to build again; it's that you had to like unlock all this
everything.
Yeah, I would have been
scratch,
fine rebuilding. That would have been no problem. It
'cause
was like, I don't know how to build this basic thing again. Like, oh, well, okay.
You just wiped your memory,
Your
jumped to a
memory's
new
wiped.
place.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do the same thing again.
Yeah.
I like every time you get inspiration in the game, you just I've got an idea for an invention. 2 sticks. It's like, yes. What I really want is I want it to be like Final Fantasy 15, where it gives you like the really lovingly rendered of like cooking recipes.
Yeah,
2 sticks. It's like, I've got another idea for a recipe here. Beautiful. So that was just real quick. The demo's available. The Switch has got some good demos on it at the moment. I think it's often worse doing the search by demo because they don't advertise them very well.
They don't, no.
It's often just a little
pops
icon on the corner. And even old games often add demos. Like there's also, they had a demo for God Eater whatever. What's the most recent one? Is it God Eater 3? I've still got another thing. God Eater 3.
That eShop really needs...
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, especially with
needs
the
some
amount of content that's on
UX.
that thing now.
Yeah, so I've never played any God Eater games, but if you don't know God Eater, it is anime Monster Hunter in post-apocalyptic fighting big like evil monsters, not dinosaurs and crap. And it's just like, I can actually get in here and give it a shot, and it seemed like I needed to play it on a TV. It seemed like too much for a small screen. I was like, I can't see half this interface. This is, but it was like, and that's what I wanted to try it and see what it was like. So they've got some good demos on there, and there was that game that I was talking to you about, the weird monster like match 3 puzzle that you run around RPG
visual
thing.
novel match 3.
Yeah, I ended up
RPG.
buying the full thing because of it. The World Next Door.
Yeah.
And then next game's coming out soon. Is that what you're saying?
Well, at least they're working on it. I don't know.
I
far
can't talk
along.
about that yet because I haven't played the full game yet. But I like the demo, and it was on sale, so I bought it for like $7. It's like, hey, this is worth it.
It's an interesting one.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of things we played before, you know what else came out on Switch? Va, 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 va. Dandy Dungeon is now on Switch, and it's very expensive because it's worth every fucking dollar.
Because
they should charge twice as much.
It's free to play on mobile,
except they shut it down.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't.
So it's free to play on Android mobile if you find the APK.
Interesting. So it's not on the store at all.
I don't know about its status, but its online features got shut down a while ago.
Okay.
Because
I'm just making sure I haven't. It's still there. It's good.
But does it work?
Let's find
does it
out.
work?
So you're from Onion Games.
So our favorite. So they ported the game to the Switch, and what work did they do to make it work on the Switch?
Not much.
Not very much.
Did they just port it because the Switch is a NVIDIA Shield?
It's vertical in the middle of the screen with stuff on the sides.
They didn't even rotate it?
No, they didn't give you an option to rotate the screen.
So there's not even +1 games for your cool little vertical screen holder.
No. I wanted to send Onion Games an angry message about that. But
I'm just very confused at what is actually happening.
He's
he's in the chef costume, and it's playing itself.
And you can't do anything?
I can't do anything.
Maybe this is just what Dandy Dungeon is now. It's a screensaver about a chef.
Maybe it's an autoplayer.
Maybe the game's not... I'm going to check if it's on the store anymore.
It's now a clicker game.
What is going on? No, I don't want to eat a rice ball.
So if you do not know Dandy Dungeon, it is our game of the year for the last 5 years. You play Yamanda? Anyway, basically... a game developer, a part-time game developer comes home from his job coding to make a video game, and then he gets fired by his evil boss, and he falls. It is one of the best written, funniest games, reflective of both like otaku culture and like Japanese like corporate culture and just gaming culture, like very sharp writing with some of the best pixel graphics of just like so character filled, the best soundtrack of all time.
But the way it was sold was kind of confusing because it was free to play, at least when I was on here.
Yeah.
On the phone.
Yeah, it's not on the store anymore.
But it didn't seem to do much to push me to spend money. I remember you spent some on it.
Yeah, I gave them some money just because I wanted to give them some money.
Because you wanted to give them money.
I finished the game, but then after the game, there was a whole bunch of stuff that kept rolling.
Yeah.
Like, you could keep going with it. But once I reached the end, I was like, that's what I'm like. I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't need to keep doing the endless stuff. But I think they still have more content that went through, and that's all wrapped into the Switch version that I'm aware of. But yes, it was very... It did not push the monetization, which is one reason why it's no longer available. They couldn't keep the online services off, and it's now a paid app pay on the Switch. The Switch is the worst way of playing this game. You can't play the other ways. It's a fucking amazing game. I don't care that I don't care that they didn't fix the interface. Yeah. It's still so basically.
Do you play with the touchscreen?
Yeah, you can use controls, but you should use the touchscreen. Yeah. It's better. It's just this very funny game about making this game, and you'll have an idea, and then that's in the next level you play because now it's time to beta test it. It's just a whole bunch of, it's got all these crafting systems and like random elements that come in, all the stuff that would normally turn me off mobile game, except none of them are pushing any sort of grindy, like, as I say, there's endless stuff that eventually you can grind into, but like if you see a goal you want, it's not going to be like, I'm going to need to do this for 100 times or anything. It's like, I don't know, 2 runs will get me that. And
this is where, unfortunately, you probably did not make.
That's why I didn't make money.
Yeah.
And it's why I think it's one of the best mobile games ever made, because it was so creative and so well written. Like, there was so much content. Like, you spend like 2 minutes playing it. It's like, time for another in-depth cutscene. It's like, what? And it's like, but I want to watch these because they're funny. I think at some point there's like, that might have been in Million Onion Hotel when there's a random orgy. And like, where is this in the middle of the game? Million Onion Hotel, also a good Onion game.
I did play that one.
Yeah.
Which I think that one was paid.
Yeah, I think you had to buy that one. Yeah. That one stays on my phone. So Million Onion Hotel, and then Blackbird, which is interesting, but it didn't have quite enough content in it for me. But yeah, Dandy Dungeon is amazing. Look, if you've never played it, don't go. It's like $30. No, wait for sale. Like, even with all my praise, go listen to the soundtrack. But get it on sale definitely, because it's
that
fantastic.
thing will go down cheap as well.
It will do. Yeah. I can't, like, seriously, I reckon Dandy Dungeon in my brain is working its way possibly even into my top 10 games. Like, just because the way it stays in there, the amount of times I sing Danger Zone during the day. Danger Zone. All the sound effects. Yeah. Oh god, I need just a soundboard of I need to rip everything out of that game. It's so good. How
there was another game from the artist, Reversi Quest.
Yeah, I don't know Reversi Quest. I need to look that up. You mentioned it last time, I think.
Yeah, it was Reversi Quest 2.
Sequel.
But yeah, I think it's a different game designer, but the same artist. So it's got I think it's trying to be like a Fire Emblem style thing.
Oh, that perked up Sam.
Oh yeah.
Well, but it's all like it's like a strategy game, but all the rules are reversey.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
I was trying to figure out why I knew the word reverse.
Okay, I am now downloading Reversi Quest 2, and you expect a review next episode. Okay, while we're on mobile games, let's talk about Dr. Mario World.
Let's.
Okay,
it exists.
It exists.
It's good.
Mechanically more different than I was expecting. I thought that it was going to be just the Dr. Mario mechanics, but it's not.
It's got a lot more things in there.
Yeah, so I haven't seen this kind of control system before. So you've got the grid and you've got your pills, and it has the same basic matching mechanic, except it goes up the screen instead of down the screen, and you can move the pill up but not down. Yeah,
and you can move it after you've played.
And you moved it. Yeah, it moves slowly.
Can you move it through? I thought you could move it around.
No. So if you get far enough, there's a level that teaches it to you.
Oh.
But I'd figured it out long before then.
Yeah.
When you're placing the pill into the screen, you can only move it up the screen. But as long as there's an empty space it fits in, you can just place it there.
Oh, okay.
You can just put it where you want it to be, even if there's blocks in the way between the bottom of the screen.
That would come in handy with some of the when I accidentally screwed myself. It's really weird
some
because
real interesting stuff.
you can drop a pill and have it falling, rising. In this case.
Yeah.
And then you can create another pill and put it in front of it, and it's and when like one breaks and the other one is free and the other side's free and is falling, you can move that, and it's
with the same caveat that it can move past things too.
Yeah, it became I found it very strange because haven't played a lot of Dr. Mario in the first place, so I already have not internalized that rule set. It's not like Tetris to me where it's just like blah 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 go. It's like, oh, I'll just put this here and it'll fall. Why didn't it fall? What the fuck? Yeah. I have a lot of those moments in Dr. Mario where I'm like, and this will just solve everything. Oh, it doesn't work like that. Oh, Dr. Mario.
Everything's static.
Yeah, everything's pretty static in the game. But yeah, it has all these weird options. Like there's turtle shells in there and bombs and breaking apart bricks, which reveals other viruses and stuff. And most of the levels seem pretty designed like there is a way of solving this. It's very puzzling.
They're always the same order of pills, and it's a set amount.
Yeah.
So from what I can tell, there's always like a set. There's as far as I can tell, there is a solution to each level.
Yeah.
Whether or not you use that solution is neither here nor there.
Yes.
Like, you can win the level just putting stuff down.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm very elegant and sometimes like, well, I fucked that up. Time to scratch. Here we go. Pills everywhere. So you play through first 20 levels and there's things there where say, hey, you got these special powers you can use during the level. Like, here, try it once. And you go, okay. And next time you hit it, it goes like, oh, you don't have enough diamonds. I'm like, well, I guess I'm never using that power in game. And so I forget that those powers exist. But they're all cheats.
Yeah, and there's very optional.
Pre-level, it has the same thing where it's like, hey, do you want to go into a level with these special bonus? Spend your special diamonds. Which can you get diamonds in gameplay or is it just a paid thing?
I haven't found a way to yet.
Yes, I haven't seen diamonds in there. And then when you hit 20, suddenly you start getting an energy mechanic. So if you die, you lose a life, and those lives come back over time, which only would affect me because, as I said, since I played it just thinking of it as a puzzle game, if I fucked up the puzzle, I often hit restart, which would cost me a life. So it would mean that I could only do that 5 times before I'd have to wait. But honestly, that would probably be about...
And the good thing is that if you beat a level, you get the life back.
Yeah.
So as long as you're good at the game.
Yeah, and I kind of think if I die 5 times, I'm probably done for a while anyway. So I didn't think the life system didn't seem too egregious to me. But then they also added this weird gotcha system where you can collect companions and stuff, and I didn't even know what was going on with that.
So it's very weird. I think when you get to level 10, it asks you, because you're playing as Dr. Mario. And
who you want to play as.
And then Princess Peach and Bowser put on their doctor's coats, put on their lab coats, and they're like, who do you want to play as? So I switched to Peach.
I've been Bowser.
So each one has like a different skill you can use when playing levels that, Mario's removes a row, Bowser's removes 2 random rows, Peach removes a column. So there's variance there. And then you unlock companions, which are just characters from the Mario world. There's Goombas and, all the other known characters that I can't name.
Question mark block.
Yeah. And you can have 2 of those.
How good is the Koopa car?
Looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is.
I cannot wait. So you can have 2 companions kind of equipped, and they give various bonuses. So, for example...
That's the gacha mechanic?
Yeah, so at the moment I've got a Goomba, which gives you an extra 1% of your points on top of what you got. So you get 101% of whatever score you got, basically. And then I can't remember which the other character is, but there's a chance to get more coins when you beat a level. So there's lots of things like that, and it looks like, you can pay coins to roll a gacha, or you can pay diamonds to roll a gacha. If you beat a well, you get a free ticket, so it's a free roll. But that gacha can give you the main playable characters or the companions, and from the icons that spin on it, there's a third thing that I don't know what it is yet. And it looks like those companions can level up, so that their bonus is higher. So like there's this whole side equip mechanic, and you can have a different loadout for single player versus the versus mode. Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff going on in it.
Has any of
but
this
none of it changes the core gameplay.
Yeah.
It's
And
just
has any of it got in the
additive.
way of you being able to play yet?
No, I'm up at like level 65.
Jesus Christ, man. I was like, I'm just going to play it because Sam said it'll
it for a while.
Sam's like, oh, it opens up at 20, so I'll play it at 20, and then I guess I'll play for like another few levels afterwards just so I see the difference. Okay, great.
Yeah.
And like,
There's,
so I was
there's a
like
lot
at
in there. There's a lot of
25.
content. There is a lot of new mechanics that get added over time.
I guess I've been spending a
Some
bit of time
levels get
playing Word
real
Cookie
complicated.
recently, so I can't say too much.
Yeah, I think it's, for now, probably just going to be my little mobile game that, get bored, pick it up.
Since Dandy Dungeon's not available.
Yeah, pretty much.
So it's kind of got almost like that Candy Crush style
it's
progression.
very
Like,
similar to that progression.
Yeah, that map that you move along.
So you move along the levels of the map,
Yeah.
and after a certain amount, you beat the world, and it is relative to the Mario world. So World 2 is a desert world instead. The levels themselves are all the same, but new mechanics.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how this one goes because I almost think there's too much game, like for the kind of game like going after Candy. If they want that kind of Candy Crush audience, is what they want. Part of the appeal of that is it's fairly
dumb.
It's like one thing.
Yeah, and it's you do the one dumb thing over and over again. Like I played a lot of whatever the Bejeweled variant was of Candy Crush. I played a lot of that. I enjoyed it. I don't know if this one if it's too thinky.
Yeah,
Like, it seems like they're
There's
for
a lot in
realsy.
there.
They're for realsy puzzles.
Yeah.
Some of the later ones I really struggled on.
Yeah, and which is cool. I don't know how well that content will fit with this like kind of meta progression kind of monetization strategy they have. I don't know how well that's going to go.
Well, I think because I think you also run into the people that like Dr. Mario and come to this and go like the puzzle
This
aspect.
is not Dr. Mario.
And that, but you like it. Well, it still has like...
It is,
It
but
is,
it's
but it's not. But you come to it and you're like, puzzle game. And then you see all these things that are like, make it not a puzzle. And you're like, well, why would I engage with that? It's a bit like Plants vs. Zombies 2. It's like, but if I spend money, that's making the game not the game. That's why I'm here. I mean, I could just not play it if I wanted to do this other stuff. I'd always be interested to see what its monetization went like with Plants vs. Zombies 2, because it was like, you don't need to touch any of that shit. And in fact, touching it hurts the game. So, but then there's always children. And you go, but do children have access to the money?
Yeah.
Some do.
Unfortunately, a lot of the time they do.
Do they?
Yeah. There's a lot of parents that just leave stuff unlocked.
Yes.
Open and they just press buttons.
I find that
Spend
terrifying
$5,000.
concept.
Well, hopefully Apple Arcade will change all this. And it'll because
Premium mobile games, here we come.
No, because consumers, they're going to go, you know what? It's time to spend a little bit of money. I'll spend $7 a month so that my little Jimmy
and then rainbows will come from the sky. Unicorns will pour happiness into our hands.
I need this.
Look, James, you know I'm on board. Even though I can be quite anti-Apple,
let me have it.
Apple Arcade, I am 100% for. It will fail. It is a train wreck that I can already see careening into the side of the mountain.
Let me have the dream.
Look, mate, if you or at least some people you know can make some deals with Apple to take advantage of this for the 1.5 years it exists, fucking go for it, because it'll be a glorious, glorious trash fire. But the problem is, you said at the beginning, it's like, oh no, consumers are going to start to want to spend money.
I know, that was the first.
That's what you start running into. Yeah. That's the one thing consumers hate doing.
Yeah, they really do. And so
but only for certain things. Other things we're fine spending money on. Like...
It's weird levels sometimes.
It is strange, yeah. I mean, I think I very briefly mentioned I was playing Word Cookie as a game I started playing. The wife plays it a bit. I'm like, well, I want to play that word game. I like word games. Get a word game in there. I'm like, played this for 30 minutes. This is fucking ads every couple of minutes. Where's the buy no ads button? Where is it? Why can't I give you money?
They don't put them in anymore.
That button needs to exist.
No,
but the thing is, when those buttons exist, people just take advantage of it half the time. It's like having an ad-free version just means that people are going to rip you off. So you'll make more money not offering that version.
My favorite ad removal I've seen was hit the score. So it's either pay money to remove ads, or if you hit a certain score, we will remove ads for you.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was a good way to do it. Like, because in the process of getting that score,
played the game
they're going to be grinding it to get the ads anyway.
You've seen enough ads.
Yeah, it's like, it's cool. You hit the score. thought that was a cute idea.
I just want to give people money.
I wish it was that simple, Paul.
There's I haven't played Power Hoof's new game. I can't remember what it's called. It's got a funky name. It's their new adventure game. But I haven't played it because I went to grab it on itch, and it's just free. But you can give them money. I'm like, oh, do I give them $4.20 this time, or I literally still have the window open with the how much money to give them. I'm like, it's got to be a funny number, but I can't afford $69. But well, I'll work out something good. Anyway, stuff. So what were we talking about? We're talking about Dandy Dungeon.
Yeah, that's it.
Dr. Mario World. Yeah, it seems solid.
Yeah, there's far more game in that than I was expecting.
There's a lot. Yeah,
I thought this really was going to be a Candy Crush.
I think.
Yeah,
and that was it.
The one thing that gets me touched on what you said is it's almost like there's various difficulties of puzzles in it in terms of the win condition for a level. And only one of those types of levels is optional. So there's little points where the map branches and you get timed levels, which is much closer to original Dr. Mario.
Yeah.
Instead of a set number of moves, you've got just a countdown clock and you've just got to destroy everything before the timer hits 0. Those are entirely optional. But you start hitting the levels where it's like, get 33 coins. And to get the coins, you've got to match viruses or just your own capsules next to the blocks. And then it becomes a game of figuring out where and when to remove viruses, and it's much more complicated than just getting rid of the viruses, because you've got to hit a block 2, 3, 4 times to get all the coins. So that becomes like a difficult puzzle to do within the constraints. But you have to do it to progress.
I did have a look at the store, because I like to just check out, like what the cost is for things. And they've got you spend money to get 60 minutes of unlimited hearts.
Okay.
And it's like about $3, I think. It's quite expensive for just an hour. I assume this is like not continuous. It's not like you get it for an hour and then, buy it at 1 and then at 2 o'clock it's done. I assume it's 60 minutes of play, which is probably a fair chunk of time. But I've seen this in a few different things where they don't give you the option to go, look, there's a particular subsystem in this game I don't like the lives. I just want to buy it out. Can I just give, and it can be a bit. It can be like $15, $20 or something. Can I just get rid of it? But no, it's like you buy a thing and it's like, okay, you have unlimited lives for some amount of time.
Just doesn't seem like, lives is that valuable a commodity at this point. Maybe later, I don't know.
To me, lives is going to be the thing, and it's like controlling how much you play.
Yeah, it's like it seems like running out of lives is a reason to wipe.
I'll stop.
Yeah.
Like, I'll get another one in half an hour, but it's not enough.
Oh, God, I wish it was as far apart as half hour last week. Jeez.
Sounds like you needed more lives.
Oh, fuck, I just wanted to die. Anyway, Dr. Mario's World. Okay. James, why don't you tell me about Eastshade?
Eastshade, the game which I stumbled across that I had not heard of, and no one else seemed to have heard of as well.
So was it you that told Michael about it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was just looking through the Steam store, and I saw this game called Eastshade.
Just get the mic up in your mouth more.
Called Eastshade. And I was kind of interested because it's a very pretty game. Like, it's sort of like some nice environment art, and the game seemed to be about taking pictures of things. And that's something I like doing. I like doing photography in games. Yeah. And so
Beyond Good and Evil, Dead Rising.
Photography games.
Yeah.
And so I thought, this sort of like, it seems like something that's kind of up my alley. And it was described as a little bit like maybe Skyrim in terms of like how you move around the world, like kind of open world game where you get basically quests to go take effectively photography. You're a painter, so it's like you go paint things, but you take a picture and it instantly appears. But that's the game. There's no combat. There's very little puzzles. It's almost a walking simulator. And like, okay, I'll check this thing out. And so I picked it up. I think it was about $30 when I got it. Completely forgot about it, just because I was tired and a little drunk.
Got lost in the list.
Yeah, like I remember, woke up the next day. I'm like, I'll check. Eastshade. Oh yeah, probably should check that out. And I've been very pleasantly surprised by it. Because one of the main things I like doing in something like Skyrim is just walking around looking at things. I enjoy moving through the world, exploring it. I don't really talk too much to people that much. I just like walk around. And that's kind of what the game is. There is a conversation system in this world. This world's full of kind of anthropomorphic characters. The ones you're the one that you are introduced to at the beginning are mainly kind of like monkey people. They're kind of I guess like Planet of the Apes style thing. But there's other like deer people, owl people. I mean, they're all kind of anthropomorphic characters with basically human bodies with animal heads. I have
Egyptian gods.
Yeah, basically. I haven't seen any other humans. I don't even know if my character's human. I have no idea. So yeah, the game starts off, you're on a boat. Reminded me a lot of probably like start of Morrowind. That was the instant kind of vibe I got when it started, because it's that kind of like first person on a boat. You get some initial conversations with someone where it goes into basically the Skyrim style conversation system, where it zooms in, center frame on the face. Like it looks just like I feel like I'm playing a Bethesda game right now.
Stolen Bethesda's engine.
What a terrible thing to do.
It's actually built off Unity. When I kind of dug into it, I had to get my files out because I was trying to get my images out. So it's so you start off, you got like a quest to pick up a book. You pick up the book, you give it to the person, and then there's a shipwreck, and you wake up on the shore of this place called Lyndow or something like that. Lyndow. And then that's it. You kind of start exploring. It does keep you fairly contained at the beginning. Like it kind of puts you in this little town where you need to get like basically 60 gold before you can leave.
Little intro.
And once you get that out, it still feels like there's a path to go. But it does just kind of open up. Like the world isn't huge. It's not Skyrim, but it's big enough that you can kind of explore it, but not so big that you're going to get too lost getting around. Probably my biggest criticism of the world is that it doesn't really seem like there's much to find when you walk around. Like it's good for you walk and you go, oh, this will make a pretty picture. Yeah, right. And I'll do that. Like I'll just go, I can frame this nicely, and I'll spend the time to take the picture, and then I'll export it or something like that. But in terms of like discovering things, there's not too much. It doesn't have all that environmental storytelling. It does have some, but not as much as I like. So, I mean, there's stuff which I've been to where, like there's an old version of the town, like it's like Old Lyndow, whatever it's called, which was taken out by a avalanche. And this is, I guess, like the kind of stuff you do in the game. It's like, well, okay, I find these old ruins. There's a single house in here with some story. So it's not like there's a lot to do. It's like there's clearly one area where you can learn a little bit. And then I learn that little bit, and now I can ask some other people about it, and I start to build up the story of kind of what happened to this little town. And it's not like super fascinating, but it's like enough to start kind of making the world feel, there's something there. Like it's, there's a history to it. But yeah, I just would like a little bit more to discover. Because if there's like an area where there's like I'm going to walk through the bush or the woods, there might be things to collect if I go out there, but I'm not really going to find any story. Yeah, right. It's got like this kind of crafting system in it. Where you can get some stuff that just seems to be mainly to push the plot forward. It'll be like you need to make a raft, so go find these things. The game's full of busy work, is kind of what it is. And it never gets too taxing with what it's asking you to do. Probably at least so far, the most complicated thing I've had to do was someone said they want a picture of an owl or a bird that goes like hoo-hoo, hoo-hoo. And all it really meant was I walk around till I could hear it, and then I find it, and then I take a picture of it. But then the game is sort of about, well, I want to take a nice picture of it.
Yeah, that's where I get.
And so it's like, all right, which angle I look at the bird?
Just take any old picture.
I don't want to get too close to it because I might scare it off. I don't know if I can scare it off. I don't want to risk it. And so like I'll take the nice picture, and then once you've got the picture and you deliver it to them, then it actually goes up in their house.
Okay,
frame it. So it's nice, like because like I'll put a bit of effort. Touch. I'll put a bit of effort into the composition of these things, and so it's nice when you walk into someone's house and like, oh, there's that picture that I took.
Imagine if you did it and they didn't put it.
Oh, that is
because it was a bad picture.
Cuts deep because it takes it out of the inventory. Like you actually give it, you don't have it anymore. So it's kind of nice when you can go back and go, that's a nice picture. I did all right there.
I mean, this is just a weird egotistical thing to say,
Yeah.
but that's actually one thing I love about being a photographer. Like walking in, it's just like, yeah, I did take your wedding photos, and there's that giant
they're
picture I
just
took in the middle of your
Yeah.
lounge room, and there's
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah, it's nice.
I did
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Me. Let's
was
talk about
me.
me some more.
I created that.
Yeah.
So, I went to look at this game because,
Yes.
especially our friend Michael was very much into it.
Yeah, he's finished it. He,
I was like,
he smashed
ooh.
through it.
I like an explory game. I like a game that has some artistic input on your part. Let's have a look. I'm like, $30.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't even know if I like this yet. Can I? Oh, you made another game in the same universe. 2 years ago. Oh, it's like not such a prequel. It's just a small game based before you made the big game called Leaving Laidlow. I was like, oh, I'll get that.
Yeah.
It's $1.80.
Much more affordable.
So, not a good. I'm gonna play Eastshade. But this is not a good introduction.
Okay.
And only for some pretty straightforward reasons. Okay, so the game seems to be primarily like literally you're leaving. You're going to go on an adventure. Don't know if the game's going to touch on the adventure at all. As far as I know, you're just leaving your hometown, your childhood home, and you start in your house. You're packing your bag, and then you can go to a few places. I'm going to go walk through the forest. I'm going to go see my uncle, stuff like that. So I think you're just doing some errands on your last day. It's a walking simulator, ostensibly. And I think that's a nice idea, nice little storytelling thing. It's fine. Around the house, very simple. First time ever that I have ever done this in a game, I went, whew. I opened up the video options and I turned the field of view down. Whoa. It started so wide. I was fucking playing Alien vs. Predator or something. I'm like, let's narrow this thing down a little bit. Anyway, the game looks similar to the way Eastshade does. It looks quite nice in its design of the world. I go and pack my house. I was talking to I believe it's my mother. I'm not sure. Get a little bit of story in the house, not a whole lot. I'm going to go walk in the forest. I start walking through the forest. I'm like, well, this is all very lovely. And I did sign up to play a walking simulator, but I am just walking. Okay, there's a little shack over there. I go, oh, look, it's where I played like Cubby House growing up. That's nice. And I went over and there's a place I could daydream, and I dreamt of the ship I was going to be on being under the ocean. And I'm like, oh, it's a bit dark. Oh, well, I'll just walk through this. Oh, I can't walk through the gate. It says, I spent a lot of time here as a child. I want to spend some more time. I'm like, okay. So now I'm just walking back and forth in this small forest area, trying to find all the hot points I need to hit before it lets me move on. And that's bad fucking design. Yeah. You need to give me a goal of of what I'm trying to find. I don't know how many things I'm supposed to do or what like if I miss stuff, that's on me. Don't make me comb through just a bit of bush. Yes, here's the stick we used to play stickball with. Great. Is that it? Walk back to the door. It's like, can I exit now? No, I can't. Robs it entirely of its power of just a little jog down the road. It's I thought that was and that's where, because I couldn't find how to get out of the forest because I thought I looked at everything and apparently I hadn't. I'm probably just missing one thing in the Cubby House or something. But I'm like, you done fucked up.
You should be allowed to choose what you remember.
Well, exactly. I mean, that's the thing.
What you look back on.
Because I don't think this is going to be a super tight narrative that is did you get all the clues? Time to reveal the killer. I think it's just it is supposed to be a you reminiscing and moving on and saying goodbye. It is just supposed to be an emotional thing. So don't take the emotion and turn it into a chore list.
Well, I almost think that if it's about leaving, there's something in that choice of not bothering.
Yeah.
It's this actually doesn't mean that to me. I should be able to just leave without
you should just be able to walk through without engaging with any of that stuff. It's I feel nothing for this. I am a emotionless robot. And have some story elements that reflect that to a degree, something like that. That would be so. It wasn't. I didn't think it was awful, but I did that killed it for me because I'm this is a very straightforward.
I haven't experienced anything like that.
Yeah, it's an open world because this is very much you're in a small environment.
So the kind of stuff that's happened to me in this one, and this is I guess kind of a small spoiler for the start. of it. Just like one of the interactions that I had early on, and I actually don't know if it branches or not. I have a feeling it might, but I'm not too sure. So you walk into the main town, and there's this boy who's running around making bird sounds. He's going like caw, 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 and kind of running around. The first thing he does is asks, "Can I fly?" And you can either say yes or no. And I think I said something like, "You can do what you believe you want," or something like that. It's like, "Yeah, I think you can fly," or something. It's like, "Oh, Dad always says that you can do anything if you put your mind to it." And he runs around going caw, caw, caw a bit more. Then I kind of left that, went inside to the inn, but I could still hear the conversation happening outside. And he started talking about like, "Oh, look, I can fly. And I'm thinking, oh, what have I?
Dear.
What have I done?
Yeah.
And I know he's like his aunt's watching him or something like that. And I'm just doing my thing, hearing this conversation. I think, should I go look? Like, no, I'm doing this thing in here. And then he says like, "Oh, I did it. I flew. And like, did he jump? Like, I actually don't know what happened outside.
And you'll never know.
And I'll never. Well, I thought I could, because this is at the beginning. It's like, do I restart? Because like I want to see, to find out. Can I see what happens outside?
But
I actually thought it was kind of powerful. Not like it's like it's like
the real twist is that he flew.
Well, because his aunt watching him says something like, "Oh, you did very well" or something, and then you talk to him and it's like, "Oh," he like literally says something like, "Oh, now I know I'll fly. I'll never do it again." Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, no, where it kind of got a little more interesting was the extension of this was that I was talking to another person in the town, and she tells me a rumor about the dad of this boy, how she always hears yelling, and that he's an unfit father. And so now I'm like, well, this kid might have just almost killed himself by jumping off a thing. Is he being neglected? And you go talk to the father, and he's threatening and like he seems very violent. And so now I'm like, I've been asked to tell like the sheriff about this kid. Do I do it? Like it's just introduced like these little elements on top of each other, which gave me like whether or not I had any agency in that. I felt like I did, and that resolved itself in the way it did. I'd like to know if it can resolve differently than it did for me.
So while we're at holidays, we went to this place, Yamundi Market. Some people may be aware of this place. It's a bit of a hippie market, and there's always this man there, with a bird caller. Little
whistle things?
Yeah, little bird whistle, yeah. He's walking around, tweeting. And we, Prospect, if you walked up to him and said, "Could you just fuck off?" and he left, would everyone begin to clap around you? That guy's been pissing everyone off for 40 fucking years.
What if a single tear rolls down his cheek?
Well, that was my thing. Because my wife was very annoyed by him. At which point I said, of course, the one thing that I wanted from that market and my parents got me, right? She says, "Of course your fucking parents did, didn't you?" It's like, you were that little shit running around the holiday place going, tweet, 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 tweet. Oh, yeah, it was. It was me. It was me. I am the Birdman. But yeah. I'm all for the Birdman.
It's interesting.
Yes, yeah. Eastshade. Interesting little thing that I had heard absolutely nothing about. And apparently no one else has either. But I enjoyed it.
Did you know that as far as your console mainstream experience goes, your best option for titties might be the Nintendo Switch?
Certainly is now. Jeez.
It's so weird because they did make a statement during the week that it's not their place to censor the developers, which is not Nintendo style at all. How times have changed. Yeah. But I did just notice this week that Lust for Darkness is coming out on Switch. I'm like,
what has changed at Nintendo? They've gone from being Puritans.
They've hit the stop caring button.
Yeah.
Well, it's like people making all these things about like Sony clamping down on a lot of their stuff and everything. Like,
yeah, Sony is massively clamping down.
I mean, I can give you multiple games on the Switch that have full frontal nudity in them. It's like, yeah.
Well, there is an anime dungeon crawler game centered entirely around breasts coming out at some point.
Fabulous.
This year or next year. And it's actually getting 2 different releases because there is Omega Labyrinth, and Omega Labyrinth has got like a subtitle to it, like Leaf or something. And the Leaf one is
that the censored one?
It's the PS4 version.
Oh yeah,
and it's got about half the features.
Half the features, or half the inverted commas
the
features?
Both.
Okay.
Because of the type of game it is, it's very tied into the gameplay.
If you can't see nips, you can't get experience.
Yeah, it's like a the genre is like the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, but it's anime girls
And titties.
and titties. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. But it's the Switch is getting a full
Release.
uncensored release, and Sony's getting half a game.
Yeah,
Interesting.
it is. I do wonder what
The world has
politically
changed.
changed for Sony to
Yeah.
bother clamping down on it. Yeah, I mean, like everywhere has its own rating systems anyway. It's like, why did they go the extra step? Anyway, let's get into. We don't really have much news, but we have a couple of fun things. So, G2A. Which what does G2A stand for? Games to
all. I don't know.
yeah. Anyway, so yeah, grey market key seller.
Probably grey
I
market.
might have used them
I've
a
used them.
long
I think
time
I've used
ago.
them.
I used it once.
I think I've used it a few times. Not that many.
I believe I used it for a WoW time game card,
Okay.
which is probably can't be grey market. So
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, because I find I when I have used it, it's been for that kind of like slightly older AAA games where it's like, I don't want to spend $80 for it.
the ones that just have never been lowered in price,
Yeah,
and
and
really should have been.
Yeah,
I'll get that Russian key.
So G2A has a lot of controversy around it, primarily because they sell a lot of stolen keys.
Yes.
Those stolen keys result in chargebacks to the developer. So basically, it costs the developer money
there was
if you're buying something from there.
a number of developers that came up, like I think Rami was one of them.
Yeah.
Saying basically you're better off torrenting our game than
Than
buying
from
for it because they're not
G2A.
seeing the money and they're just making more overhead for them managing these chargebacks and things.
So this has been a long battle with G2A and their public image. Of like, what are they doing anything to protect people? They're not.
Basically, they're doing nothing. Yeah.
But they do a lot of PR. Like, it's basically like. Anyway, this all came to a front a couple of days ago, where I can't remember which journalist it was. They sent them a message saying, we've written a fun article saying like why it's basically impossible to buy an illegal game on G2A.
They're being transparent. They're giving this transparent article.
Yeah.
Here's a
It's
transparent article.
If you could please publish this without any accreditation that we wrote it.
Yeah, that was the clincher. That
They
was like,
they straight up just like,
Yeah.
could you please fraudulently
Yeah.
post this
Like,
article
it's-
Ghost
and
wrote
pretend
this
it's
for you.
not written by us?
fine if they want to send an article out and say, look, we've written a thing. If you want to post it. That'd be great.
Yes.
But
There's such a thing as sponsored content.
Yeah, it's
it
fine.
happens.
You can do that. But yeah, the fact they asked to hold back the fact that it was written by them and then like ask how much basically.
Yeah. How much for the fraud?
How much for the it was wow. Like that's
Yeah, and then they just threw an unnamed intern under the bus for they wrote it without our permission. It's like sure.
Yeah, no one's believing that shit.
No one.
At this point, no one went rogue and wrote that article.
This is what I always like. The very few times these things ever sort of happen, it always comes out very quickly. So whenever people are going on about like terribleness of games journalists, it's like, most of the time, she's pretty above board.
Yeah.
People get this shit and we go, what the fuck is going on? Did you just write a confession and sign your name to it and just send it to the police?
But hey, unrelated.
Yeah.
Did you know that it actually is impossible?
Yeah.
To do it?
Well, one of the major ways that it's still happening is that you can buy gifts on there.
Steam
Yeah.
gifts.
Yeah, so pretty much all of those will always be
Yeah.
from fraudulent stolen credit cards and everything. And one of the things someone was giving like a step by step is that even when they say it's a key available, it's a link to.
It's listed on G2A as a key.
Yeah, but it's actually a
Specifically,
Steam
like,
gift.
this is a Steam key. When then you buy it and they send you some link to some random website.
Because the thing is,
that gives you a
getting
gift.
legit keys is more likely to be legit on there.
Yeah.
There's lots of other sellers that get bulk keys, and then
And
in fact that still can be a problem on its own, where a bundle site gets a bunch of keys, they don't sell them all, they bulk them to G2A and stuff like that. When really they should probably be returned and stuff like that. So there was still a bit of credit, but it was questionable at best, and now they're just the scumbags.
Like I doubt I'll be buying anything else from them at this point.
There are so many games that are so available these days. I'm like, if something is too expensive, I'll just go play something else.
Yeah.
There's very little that I desperately need that I need to go
Wait for
through
the
there.
next sale.
Exactly. Sales
There's
are
always
happening
another sale.
always. So we got the announcement of the next Turok game. Very exciting. Escape from Lost Valley. And it surprised everyone by being a isometric chibi little
Like,
sort of.
I don't know why
adventure
this is
game.
happening, but okay.
Oh, don't you?
No.
Okay, so Activision had basically a competition and said, "Hey, indie devs, make what you want with our IP." And then the ones that won, they basically are making his full games now. So the Turok one was one, and the other one was Voltron, Cubes of Olkarion.
Okay.
And both games are coming out on Steam as early access. And the Voltron one looks weird. It's like a player versus player match 3 game, but the match 3 are parts. And so you like on match 3 guns together to shoot the other person and stuff like that. Like it looked kind of interesting. And this game didn't look bad either. It just was like a weird thing. But the reason it's a weird thing is because it's not. It was made by people trying to make a weird thing with licenses.
They were told to make it weird.
Yeah, they were told
so
to make
they
it weird. Yeah, so they did. I mean, it looks very nicely put together, frankly. It's just not what you think of the Turok.
Yeah. Because like,
where's
I
the
remember
cerebral ball?
You posted in the Discord.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, new Turok. I'll watch it later.
Yeah.
I saw the thumbnail and I thought, is this a parody or joke, satire? Like, what am I looking at?
Nope.
And I watched it, I'm like, oh no, this is real. Okay.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm glad it exists. It's fun. Well, people need to have more fun with these things sometimes. So you can look forward to that. I think like both of the trailers say out now in early access. Neither of them are out now. I think they're both out on the 25th or something. But
close enough, right?
Yeah, soon. They've just released StarCraft Cartooned, which is basically a cartoon wrapper for StarCraft Remastered. It's cool.
It looks super cute.
Yes, I saw it ages ago, and I saw it again, and I went, "This looks good now that it's out."
Originally I thought it was a StarCraft 2 mod.
Yeah.
And I was wrong. It's StarCraft 1.
Maybe I'm mixing it. Maybe there was a StarCraft 2
I have a
thing
feeling
as well.
there was because I feel like
it was slightly different to what I remembered.
And I thought it was this animator was working on a mod for StarCraft 2. But maybe I was mistaken.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We're not experts on it. Now, Sam didn't ask for this, but I did write Sam's Pokemon Minute here. There was some Pokemon things during the week.
I mean, yeah. And then
you said there was a cake?
Pokemon like to drop little trailers of stuff randomly on the Pokemon YouTube channel.
Well, that's all they can drop because Pokemon don't shit.
So, yeah, the little trailer came out and they were like, this is a new feature again. We called it Gigantamaxing. It's Dynamaxing, but your Pokemon changes. So it's Mega Evolutions, but we named it dumb.
So Mega Evolutions are still in it?
No. It's Gigantamaxing.
But you just said it's just Mega Evolutions with a different name.
It might as well be.
So it is.
It changes what your Pokemon looks like and it makes it bigger. It's a Mega Evolution.
Everyone just must be happy now, right?
Nope, they're all still very annoyed because it's a dumb name.
But Mega Evolution is also a dumb name.
It really is, and so are Z-moves.
Yeah, these are all dumb things.
Everything in Pokemon is kind of dumb.
That's what we like. Like every good named Pokemon has a dumb name because that's the fun of it. The bad ones are the ones that are just like called Jeff and stuff like that. It's like, what? No.
But yeah, within that trailer, there's some things dropped in there that's new. So there's a couple of new Pokemon shown off. There's a lump of coal.
Is this called ScoMo?
No, it's called like I can't remember the name because it's similar to one that already exists, but it's got like rock or coal in the name. And yeah, there's a small little whipped cream Pokemon whose Gigantamax version is a giant tower of cakes. And it looks incredible.
It does sound good.
And they officially showed, because I believe it was in the demo they had at E3, but they officially showed the little electric corgi.
How do you know if your Pokemon has a cold?
How?
Pikachu.
And
I just thought of that very good joke.
Oh, did you make that one up?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Original. Very original. Never heard that one ever. And the very last thing I showed was 2 new gym leaders. The main thing being that they are the same gym, but in the 2 different versions of the game, and they are different types. So, more variance between the 2 games. So you have to buy both games now.
What are you getting?
You have to buy both.
Are you getting Sword or Shield?
I believe I'm currently aiming towards Sword.
Why?
Because I prefer the Legendary more. But for me, personally, the choice always comes down to which one Growlithe is in. Because Growlithe's my favorite.
Okay.
And Growlithe has always been Evolution exclusive.
I'm
leaning forward Sword.
Because
it also has the better gym of the 2 that were shown that were different.
Sun and Moon, I originally got Moon. And then I found out, because it had the 12-hour offset.
Yeah.
I found that bothered me
because you're
much
playing at
more.
night.
Yeah, I hated it. I hated it
always
so much.
daytime.
Yeah. And I actually went and just changed the time on the 3DS, but it still nagged in my brain. Like, I know it's 12 hours out.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I do like
it?
I do like a NES. Not to you.
Yeah,
I do like a NES that
Yeah.
they now have a Southern Hemisphere option for seasons.
Okay. So, like, normally when a Pokemon comes out, there will be something which will guide me towards one or the other.
One or the other. At the moment, I don't think.
Sort of, I have nothing. I have no. It's like I have no skin in the game. I've got no preference. I have a heart of neutrality. On
I think that's
be it
most
sword
of
or
the
shield.
Pokemon fan base right now. It's just,
Even like the XY. For some reason, I had an opinion on that. But Sword and Shield, nah, none. I might just flip a coin.
Just buy the double pack and then.
Or get
both.
neither.
That's not going to happen.
You could wait a year and get Ultra, and they'll have you'll be able to catch
Ultra
them all
Sword,
then.
Mega Shield.
It'll be
It'll be Dinosaur and Giganta Shield.
Unstoppable Shield. No, Unblockable Sword, Unstoppable Shield.
Sure.
Yeah. What happens when an unblockable object meets an unstoppable object? They're the same thing. Shit. I don't think this through. Unblockable is also the same as unstoppable.
The word you want is immovable.
Yeah. Anyway, enough of my Pokemon lust.
Yeah. So that was the thing.
Time for... Now we've had Sam's Pokemon minute. It's time for Paul's VR hour. Okay. I've just been playing a small game this week. I've been playing Lure, which... what's the company's name? Funamina or something? They're making Watam.
You were just saying words to me.
Watam.
They're just noises.
Watam is the game by the Katamari creator, where you're the mayor with a bomb under his hat.
I know exactly what.
Yeah. So I was listening to a woman from the studio talk about it. And goes, oh yeah, we shipped Lure a while ago. It's on VR, on PSVR now too. I'm like, oh, is it? Oh, I don't even know what this game is, but I heard someone that sounds nice talk about it, so I must go buy it.
They said the words PSVR.
Yeah. So I went into this. I don't know why I thought I need to go get this now, but it's me. Yeah, I did. And it is. I went and looked at it, and the screenshots were basically small vignettes, which I like, with sort of papercrafty graphics. I'm like, okay, cool. Seems interesting. So I get into it, and it is a very simple game that I find very satisfying. Probably very good for if a kid can do VR, or maybe if you are high.
Same thing.
Or both.
So basically the story starts, there's a little bird, and then an owl comes down and says, hey bird, you should sing to the moon. There's no voices, but that's what I imagine. So the bird sings to the moon, but it takes the last sliver of the moon away, and then shit goes to hell, because you know how that always happens. So basically you have these small little play sets, and I'll start off the play sets with an instrument. And I didn't know they were instruments at first. It presented me with a thing. And the bird sings, and I can interact, and it was almost like electroplankton-y. I'm just making some noises and working in VR, just hitting it with the move controllers. It's nice. I'm like, okay. And then each of these instruments opens up parts. And this is going to all sound weird, but basically there's 3 game things. There's the instrument thing, it just opens up, and then you go into constellations. And there are... Basically, you have broken constellations in space. There's lines between all the stars, but the stars aren't in the right spot. So you've got this weird... It starts very simple, but then it starts looking complex, but it never actually gets hard. Where it's just this massive stars with lines between them, but you can just pick it out of the sky and sort of untangle them so you can sort of see the order they go into, and then just put them in their correct spots. And then that turns into an object, and once you've collected all the objects for an area, you get into the main little... creative part, I guess you'd call it, which is you've got this scene, and you normally I think you're looking for an animal, and it's dead. It's a desolate area. There's nothing really there, and you get a little flower with each of the objects you just unlocked, which will normally be like trees and mushrooms and reeds and stuff like that. You can pick them up, put them in the landscape, make them the scale you want, twist them around, change the color and everything. And as you start putting them down, it starts bringing life back to the world.
Okay, yeah.
It's basically like this small gardening, build your own little thing. And as you do that, then it comes to life, and basically the animals get together, have a little song, and then you're off to the next one. So none of these are like taxing gameplay things, but what they are is really nice soundtrack, very soft very accessible graphics that feel just nice to be involved with. And I love building, and and you're not going to make anything wild in here. You are just putting in plants primarily. But it made me instantly want to have a gardening game. I'm like, oh, what about a whole game about this? This would be really good. I could make a river or something. The world is reactive enough, which I always find is a problem in VR, where it's like, okay, watch this story going on and nothing reacts. It's like, I can splash in the water and stuff a little bit. And it was just like a very, very nice space to go sit into. I think from what I heard, the original version had even less story than this version does. It was just like some vignettes together that tied together. It's just a very small, slight experience that if you want to relax and, it's a child-focused, like, folk-tale-y style thing. But, it's functional, and I like cute animals, and I like some plants, and I like making some music. In fact, sometimes the problem is the things. So when you have all the constellations in space, the lines between them work like guitar, like strings. You can pluck them. You go, bung, 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 bung. But when you put them all together, you can finally play every note. The object appears, and then you move on. I'm like, no,
you want to keep plucking the notes.
I wanted to play my song. God damn it! Like, I can use both hands, but you only actually need one. But two is good to whack around with.
How much was this one?
I don't know. Something. Let's say
some
money.
dollars.
Let's say $15, so I don't feel too bad about myself. It's very simple. Like, it's not highly recommended. It's not like have to do it in your VR list or anything.
Sounds nice and laid back, though.
It's very laid back. It was like if you wanted a less stoner version of Nog, which is one of my favorite little experiential things. This is, just more accessible and cool and chilled back. Like, I'm going to relax next to the water, and it's nice. So Luna, which I know is on PC and on and I'm playing on PSVR. But when I looked it up, there is another version coming out for the Magic Eye, which is a bit of a gardening game, which is you have your environment around you and you have to build a garden and everything in there, trying to bring this fox back into its habitat and everything. So it's all this paper crafty style art still. So that seemed interesting.
Well, the 4 people that own one can play that.
That's what I saw. That was the thing when I went and looked at this company. Like, they said, oh, look at all of our games. And they had 10 projects. And it's like, and 2 of them are commercial games and the rest are installations and experiences and stuff like that.
That project's a clusterfuck.
Oh, the Magic Leap one.
Yeah.
I mean, that's never going to be maybe it'll be on our store, and as you say, 4 people will buy it. But, you imagine they're being paid by Magic Eye to make content for them. Yeah. Hopefully.
Well, gold, don't touch that platform unless there's a bucket of money in it for you. Don't bother touching it.
But that's the thing, you need those people doing the legwork anyway if there's ever going to be good stuff.
Oh, I'd love to make something for it.
Of course.
If they want to give me the Magic Leap and they want to give me a pile of money, I will make a game.
Of course. So I thought a fun company, and Watum is getting closer to release. So do you know much? So you don't, there's a bomb under the mayor's hat.
I don't remember much about this one.
So it's taken a while for me to even put together what the game is, but there's quite a bit of gameplay footage out now. So you are the mayor, and you start off sort of alone. And this game is just about making friends.
Well, you have a bomb under your hat.
So you basically have 2 buttons when you're the mayor, especially. You have hold B to hold hands. And you also have an explode button.
The only 2 you need.
It's like message comes in. I would think it would be great if I could see 5 people explode at once. But because it's a friendly world, explosion just makes everyone happy. So everyone pops up in the air like, yay!
It's a happiness explosion.
Yeah. So it's
you hold hands and explode in happiness.
It's building all these interactions. So climb to the top of a tree. There's a cloud there. You reach and hold the cloud's hand, and then you float around and you rain down and grow up a flower, and then the flower's running around and you go be friends with the flowers. It's really I suppose it is that sort of Katamari-ish progression, like finding a thing that leads to another thing to another thing and so on. But also that Nobby Boy of just a play space to have fun in. So it looks like it's a little bit more of a game than Nobby Boy, but still it's about play more than it is about challenge. And I think it looks cute as hell. When I was listening to some developers talk about it, I think last year, they were saying, we thought it would be fast, but you know how hard it is to make a donut interact with a rectangle? You think it'd be easy, but no. It's like, because everything has this, like, very strong shapes.
Yeah.
It's like, these things will have to be able to hold hands and interact and climb on each other and do stuff. It's like, it looks simple, but a lot of systems involved. So that's Watum. If you don't know about it, it should be out later this year, hopefully. Maybe it'll be a next gen exclusive. They need the power for hand holding.
It's in Death Stranding.
Yes. Oh God, when are we going to get Deep Down? What's it?
Oh, that kind of
the Capcom
it's not
roguelike.
Kind of like a Dragon's Dogma. No, not really Dragon's Dogma. More of a
I
don't know. It was like a sci-fi.
Mostly fantasy-ish, but I think
I
think there might have been almost like Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing.
But that was weird. That thing. Is there anything we haven't discussed that we want to talk about? There's nothing on your list that we haven't discussed.
I think I'm good.
Think we're good?
I'd just like to add that although I haven't played it, Sea of Solitude is very worth experiencing.
Because I'd heard mixed things, but if it's experience, it's worth experiencing.
I feel like it might be
a Paul thing?
Something better experieing without playing it, but it sure was a damn good
that's our next
line.
That's something we played that we haven't discussed. Well, Sam's discussed it before, but James and I finally played through Observation. But as we were playing through it, my wife comes home because why is it when you two get together you just play single player games? And we just looked at each other and we actually didn't have a response.
That is a good question.
It's like, I don't know.
Double the brain, same puzzle.
Yeah, we get through. I really, other than a few design issues that we had with it, I generally really liked it. It was
there were a couple of times when we needed to look up what to do because we were like just a bit confused.
And we still did. Well, the one time we had to do it.
Yeah, and then
I still didn't really know why.
Yeah.
And then when we said, "Why did you have to do this?"
I didn't know what you were talking about.
You didn't even know what we were talking about. So we were led up the wrong. We just got past it and we moved on. But it's. I would like to see more in that. It's a real step up from Stories Untold, production wise.
It was a very interesting experience.
Yeah. Yes, Observation was you are an AI in a space station that has gone wrong, and working out what went wrong and trying to save people and work out what's going on.
I don't think the AI part was that well integrated. Like it could have just been a different person. Like it didn't make me feel like I was an AI.
Yes. Yeah, I think that was it needed to rip off Experience 112 even more and just make you someone locked in the security room.
Yeah, I think that would because it felt like a lot of what we were doing was just not the kind of things that I'd expect an AI to do.
AIs are much better at just like observing a room and just
actually doing things.
Yeah, you normally don't need to say like, okay, AI, we're going to move you to this camera now. Yeah. It's like, no, AI looks at all cameras simultaneously, maps out everything, makes a list.
It's not an entity, it just exists.
It just is. It doesn't need it. But
because I also felt that whenever there was any kind of interaction, a lot of the time it didn't really feel like the interactions were supporting much of what was going on. It felt like, we have to give the player something to do at this point. Yeah. So, pick the color.
Yeah.
And like, okay, I can do it. Like, it's fine. But the mechanics, I just wanted to see a bit better integrated.
Out of the mini games that were there, I thought about half of them were good and half of them were totally unnecessary.
Some of them were fine. Yeah. But there were some where it's like, why am I doing this?
That coordinates trajectory shit. That was the one that got me the most.
So that was the one we were talking about.
Near field map.
Yeah.
That was the one, the near field stuff. I still don't really understand what the hell was going on in that one.
Well, that's the one where we were told to close the doors, and you're like, "What?
What doors?"
We'll talk about it off air. We'll talk about it off air. Okay, well, I think that brings us to the end, really. Thank you for watching or listening to 8.5bit. You can go to our website, 8.5bit.com, our Twitter and Facebook. Please like and share anything you like on that. Subscribe to us on iTunes, no, it doesn't exist anymore. Subscribe to us on whatever the hell you want. Join our Discord. You can't listen to us live because it never works. No. Cal says for me to use my computer, but that would require me to do some effort, and I don't like any more effort than I'm already putting in, so I'll think about it. I've been your host, Paul. Do your choice.
Sam.
Yeah, and I've been James.
Catch you later, folks.
See you, everyone.
Who's going to click?
Sam can do it.